Okay, part 2 of 2 for the access. So I am now on step 12 where it says open the homeowners tab in datasheet view, homeowners tab, and it says add a new field. Now it wants me to be in datasheet view. I personally like to do this in design view. It won't matter. I don't believe it affects the grading. And I'm gonna call it total coverage. And it is a calculated field, so I'm going to come down and make that a calculated field, and it says use the expression liability plus property damages. So liability, then I'm going to do the plus, and then I'm going to hit property damages and click OK. So that is my calculated field, and then save the changes and close it. Now, I don't know, I'm just kind of curious what happened over here. So there's my total coverage over there, so it equals the liability plus the property damage, and I believe that's right, liabilities plus property. Yep, that's right. Isn't that fun? Let's close it. Okay, open the claims table. Here's the claims table, and it wants me to resize the policy, claim amount, and claim approved to display the complete field name. So policy number, yeah, you can kind of see that. I really can't see that whole thing. So I'm going to just grab that and bring it out a little bit. Bring it out a little bit. I think I can even, oh, that kind of reminds me of Excel. How about you? And claim approved. I think that's the ones it wanted. Remove the total from the remove the total row from the table. Oh, okay, doesn't want that. Fine. So we're going to delete that. And the way to do that is just to deselect the totals right over there. And now there's no totals field. Sort the records in ascending row by claim amount. So if I come over to the claim amount and I click on here and I go, it wants it in ascending order, so smallest to largest. So there you go, that was ascending. Now I'm going to save and close that. So save and close. Very good. Now it wants me to open the renters table in design view. No problem. We can do that all day long now. And it says enter a validation rule for the deductible field to ensure that the values in the field are greater than or equal to 0. Okay, and so it wanted me to enter validations for the deductible. So here I'm in the deductible field, and you can see down here you've got a validation rule, and it says ensure the values in the field are greater than or equal to 0. So here's my greater than or equal to 0, and under the text it says must be greater than or equal to 0. I'm actually just going to take that and copy it down and put it in my validation text. How do you like that? Save the changes. All right, and then it says save the changes, and it gives me a warning, and I say thank you for sharing, and then I close it. Okay, and that's just kind of what that said down there. Open the relationships window. So in the database tools, you'll have a relationships window, and add customers and renters to the relationship. So customers and renters to that relationship. Create a one-to-many relationship between customer ID in the customer table and the customer ID field in the renters. And it says create a one-to-many relationship, so I'm going to create a one-to-many relationship, and it says make it enforce referential integrity. And you can see that the relationship type is one-to-many down here. And that's all there is to it. Okay, so there is my one and there's my many. Do you get that? That's a infinite symbol, so one-to-many, right? So a customer can have many renter policies. That's all that says. Okay, and then save the relationship. Use the find unmatched query wizard to query and find all customers that do not have an umbrella policy. I see where that's going. For this next one where I find an unmatched query, then I'm going to go, if you're on the home screen, go to create. We're going to create a query wizard, and we're going to find unmatched query wizard. Okay, so there you have it. And it wants me to create a query for all customers that do not have a umbrella policy, so we're going to choose the customer table and then select the umbrella table as the related table. So I selected the umbrella, and then it says select the customer ID that is common in both of the tables, and display all in the query results. So I'm going to select all in the query results, and then I'm going to go next, and I want to view that. And these are all of the customers that do not have an umbrella, so I'm going to save that. And I actually wound up closing it, but it wants me to save the query using unmatched umbrella as the name. So under this query, I believe this is the one that I just did. Customers without matching umbrella. Yes, that's what I did. So once I close it, I can actually rename it over here. So I'm going to do unmatched umbrella. There we have it. Okay. And then save the query if necessary and close it. Okay, so I should have 38. I believe there's 38 records. Yes, there are, one of 38. So hallelujah, we did that one right. Now I'm going to open the total coverage query in design view. Total coverage query in design view, and use the expression builder to create a calculated field at the end of the query grid that calculates the sum of the liability and property damage. Assign the alias total coverage to the calculated field, and then close it. Okay, so here I am on the total coverage. It says on the last field, use the expression builder, which is found right here. There's my expression builder, and it wants me to create one where I calculate the liability. Double click the liability, add a plus sign, and then I'm going to add the property damage, and then click OK. Oops, did that happen? Liability plus property damage. There you go. Okay. All right. There you go. And then it says assign the alias total coverage to the calculated field. Now, don't kill me if you get this one wrong. We may have to fix this, but I believe that I'm going to take this and just put total coverage here. I may change that, but for right now, that's what I'm going to do. And then when I come over here and change it to view, you can see that I've got total coverage right over here, which is adding the two liability plus the property damage together. So I'm going to save and close that. All right, and then finally, we're getting there, you guys. Here's the renter table. So in the datasheet view, modify the expression. Now, I don't know why they want me to put this in datasheet view. I like to put it here. All right, but I think they just want to tell you that there's a couple different ways to do this, but I prefer to do it this way, so that's the way I'm going to show you. Open the renter express in the total coverage, so you can see that this is a calculated field, right? And down over here, it tells me what the calculation is. See that expression right there? So liability plus personal property. All they want me to do is subtract the deductible from it now. So I can actually come back over here to those three little ipsies, and I can subtract the deductible from here. Oh, fine. Minus the deductible. And then click OK, and then save the changes to the table and close it. If you want, you can go look and see what you did, right? But that will basically take it and subtract out the deductible. Okay, so here I've got 100 plus 75 minus 500 would equal the total coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Alrighty. Open the umbrella table in the datasheet view. The umbrella in the datasheet view, and let's see what we've got. Add a total row to the datasheet and calculate the average for the premium. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to add the total right here. Once I've got a total field, now it wants me to calculate the average for the premium. So if I come over to this premium and I calculate the average, there's the average for that. I'm going to save and close that. And open the customers table. So here's my customers table in the datasheet view, and display the sub data sheet for the customer with customer ID 11004. So if you find 1004, it should be Elias Stone. There's the sub data sheet for that. And because we're going to update the data policy for R100023 to, oh, the deductible. Oh, here you go. So the deductible was 500. We're going to update that to 1,000. So all this is this is the sub data. So it's like it's connected. This is the customer itself. They live in Egg Harbor. I always wondered where that was. And here's the policy number that is associated with that customer. Okay, so that's how that works, and we updated that. Okay, so you are done. You're going to save and close that. We'll correct any little tiny grading errors, but that is the general idea. Thanks for hanging with me.